Hey guys, aka Anarchy here. I'm finally bringing you some Black Ops gameplay. I know it's been a while. Last time I posted a Modern Warfare 2 video, a couple people told me I should try out sniping in Black Ops again, including my channel partner, who has been telling me for a while I should do that. So I finally gave it a chance, and after a couple games, this happened. This is kind of the game where I finally got it. I came back and I wasn't doing really well at all when I first started. And so I tried to take it to a bit more of a defensive level, not camping per se, but just mean, be more careful as I'm running around corners, and instead of people getting the drop on me if I know they're like coming around a corner, so I don't run at them, they run at me, and then I keep moving. I don't camp in this video. I wouldn't say I camp at all, but it's just not as aggressive as a Modern Warfare 2 video would be. Anyway, I have a couple quick announcements before I get into what I want to talk about. You might see a couple cuts in the video where the score just jumps randomly. It's not because I'm trying to hide deaths or fake that I'm better than I am. It's just that I'm not that great at this game, and I have a couple deaths where nothing really happens, and so I wanted to keep the gameplay interesting to you, and so I cut those out. And there's also parts that are sped up. Secondly, if you'd like to be in my montage, I am accepting clips. I'm going to make it a community montage again, because I don't have enough time to edit and get clips now. I'm trying to work on my skills with VFX as well as edit a montage, and I'm probably going to have some real-life videos up, like a time warp kind of video, and a video that's like Splinter Cell in real life, and maybe later like a futuristic shooter person, like a first-person shooter, futuristic first-person shooter. Just my inspiration for doing this is freddiew. You should check him out if you haven't already. But I really want to do videos like that, and I probably will. Anyway, if you'd like to be in my montage, send me sniping Black Ops clips or Modern Warfare 2 clips. No regular weapons. It's just not really what I'm looking for this time. Feeds 3+, no scopes are fine. Streaks, try to keep it to 5 or 6 if you're not the only person in the feed. Like, trick shots are okay, but not too many, please. Don't send me, like, if you're gonna send me like 3 clips, or a group of clips, just try to keep only one as a trick shot. I prefer like feeds to trick shots and no scopes. Alright, and finally I'm gonna get into the topic for today. I don't know if any of you have heard about this, but the News of the World is a tabloid that just recently shut down. It's a UK tabloid that reports basically on politicians and famous people in their personal lives and what's been going on with them. And it's been known for always being able to get some really good stories with a lot of, depth and content, interesting content, that people want to read. And it just recently was exposed by another UK newspaper, The Guardian, that they are incredibly corrupt and that there have been all sorts of malpractice issues going on. Basically, for a little background, like I said, it's been around for 160 years. It had 2.5 million subscribers, which is more than the New York Times. Just to put it in perspective, though, even though that is like 1.5 million more than the New York Times, the New York Times is kind of a bit stronger just because it's not corrupt, as far as we know, and it also is read by the people who are important, like politicians and the major leaders of business and industry. Basically, what happened is this newspaper, its reporters and its editors had been encouraging the reporters to hack into people's email, either get their voicemail, get bank information, anything they need to get sob stories. For example, one reporter who was writing about the 9/11 incident, this has been going on for a while, he hacked into the email and the voicemail of 9/11 victims and was reading their email so he could get sob stories. Then there was another incident where the Prime Minister himself, the Prime Minister of the UK, was affected by this whole big scandal. Basically, there were people who had hacked into his email and hacked into his voicemail to get stories on him and information on him. And one reporter even had someone pose as the Prime Minister so they could call his bank and get bank information and medical reports about his son, because recently his son had contracted some disease, and only after the second medical report had been paid for by the bank, the Prime Minister himself hadn't even been updated and confirmed if his son actually had the disease, and they already had this bank information. They had someone pose as the Prime Minister. That's just kind of scary that a tabloid would be doing this. You know, it's scary to think about. It really is. And then there's this other really terrible story where a girl had been missing, for some time, and this reporter had basically gotten into the family's voicemail, not the family's voicemail, but her voicemail, and to get sob stories from, you know, people who were really missing her and cared about her, and for this story that they were writing about this missing girl. You know, they wanted to get, the reporter wanted to get a deep story with, you know, a deep emotional content, because it's more interesting to read. And so, after a while, you know, this girl's voicemail was full, because she'd been missing for some time, and there were a lot of people looking for her, and who cared about her. Basically, he decided that he needed more sob stories, and he went in and deleted some of the voicemail messages. Basically, that led this family to believe that she was still alive, and it gave this family hope that the girl would still be found, and she had come home and deleted voicemail messages, and a week later she was found dead. And it's terrible, and the family never knew why the voicemail messages were deleted, and it basically completely crushed their spirits for a second time. And that's just terrible that a tabloid is doing this. Then recently, the only reporter, this is another kind of coincidence that's a bit shady. The only reporter who was going to testify publicly and admit publicly to doing all these things, was found dead in his apartment. So I don't know if you're going to believe, if what you want to believe. I personally think that foul play is involved. I mean, it's just too much of a coincidence that he died at that point, you know. And even though he did have various health issues, he was encouraged to take a lot of drugs and just kind of do things that would help him fit in with like the rock star crowd and that kind of group. You know, he was the only one who was going to testify publicly, and he died. He was found dead in his apartment. It's supposedly not suspicious. It was supposedly health problems, but that's just, you know, too coincidental for me to believe. Then finally, the other interesting twist is Rupert Murdock, the owner of the tabloid, was testifying in a private court hearing, and some protester somehow got in and threw a pie at his face. And this was while Rupert Murdock was giving a lot of shady testimony and wasn't answering questions really well. And so basically, even though it's kind of funny and he might deserve it, you know, it basically takes away from the fact that his testimony was shady, because now everyone kind of feels sorry for him. So guys, that about wraps up the gameplay. I think I might have gone over again, but this story is just way too interesting, at least to me, that I wanted to give you as much of it as possible. And I actually even left out some of the stuff, like the head of Scotland Yard was involved, and he resigned recently. The head of the Wall Street Journal, the editor of the Wall Street Journal, he used to be the editor of the what's it called, the News of the World, and he actually resigned. He was forced to resign just because his reputation was so bad after this whole thing has been exposed. Anyway, alright, I'm going off on a tangent again. I hope you guys found this interesting. I don't know if you've heard about this yet, but I think it's a pretty interesting story, and it just really makes you think about what big corporations are doing. And if newspapers and tabloids are doing this, you know, what are big corporations like BP doing? What are they covering there? What are they covering? You know, just think about that. Food for thought. If this is on LGU, thanks for allowing me to post. Be sure to come by, check out our channel, and thanks for watching.